Have you ever wondered who invented the World Wide Web? It wasn't a giant corporation or a government agency. It was one man, a brilliant computer scientist named Tim Berners-Lee. His invention fundamentally changed how we live, work, and connect with each other. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the man who gave the world the web, and perhaps more surprisingly, gave it away for free. Timothy John Berners-Lee was born in London, England, on June 8, 1955. You could say that computers were in his blood. Both of his parents, Mary Lee Woods and Conway Berners-Lee, were early computer scientists. They worked on the Ferranti Mark I, one of the first commercially built computers. Growing up in a household buzzing with talk of algorithms and programming, it's no surprise that young Tim developed a fascination with electronics from an early age. He loved to tinker, building gadgets and learning how things worked. He even built a computer out of an old television set. His formal education took him to the University of Oxford, where he studied physics. It was during his time at Oxford that his knack for hacking and building things really shone through. He was once caught using a restricted university computer and was banned from using it, so what did he do? He built his own computer from scratch using a soldering iron, a processor, and a spare TV. This early display of ingenuity was a clear sign of the incredible things to come. After graduating in 1976, Berners-Lee worked as an engineer at various tech companies. But the pivotal moment in his career, and for the world, came in 1980. He took a contract position as a software engineer at CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research in Switzerland. CERN is home to thousands of scientists from all over the world, all working on different projects. Berners-Lee saw a major problem. These scientists had a huge amount of information, but it was stored on different incompatible computers. There was no easy way to share and link all this data. To solve this problem for his own personal use, he developed a program he called Inquire. Think of it as a personal database, but with a crucial feature: it allowed him to link pages of information together. This concept of linking, or hypertext, wasn't entirely new, but Berners-Lee's application of it was a game-changer. The name Inquire was inspired by a Victorian-era advice book called Inquire Within Upon Everything. This little program was the seed from which the mighty World Wide Web would grow. He left CERN for a while but returned in 1984. The information sharing problem was still there, and it was bigger than ever. The Internet, the underlying network of connected computers, already existed, but it was mainly used by academics and military personnel for things like email and file transfers. It was clunky and not user-friendly. There was no web to browse. In March 1989, Berners-Lee had his eureka moment. He submitted a proposal to his boss at CERN titled Information Management, a proposal. He envisioned a universal linked information system, a web of documents that anyone could access from anywhere. His boss, Mike Sendall, was intrigued. He scribbled on the proposal, vague, but exciting, and gave Tim the green light to work on the project. It wasn't a huge, funded initiative at first. It was more of a side project that Berners-Lee worked on in his spare time. Now, he had to build it. To create the World Wide Web, Berners-Lee invented three fundamental technologies that remain the foundation of today's web. First, HTML, or Hypertext Markup Language. This is the publishing language of the web, the code used to create web pages. Second, URI, or Uniform Resource Identifier, which we now commonly call a URL. This is the unique address for each resource on the web, like the address of a specific web page or image. It's what you type into your browser's address bar. And third, he created HTTP, or Hypertext Transfer Protocol. This is the protocol that allows for the retrieval of linked resources from across the web. It's the set of rules that lets your web browser communicate with a web server to request and display a web page. He also developed the world's first web browser, which he called World Wide Web, and the world's first web server. He did all this on an X computer, a high-end machine developed by a company started by Steve Jobs after he left Apple. On Christmas Day 1990, Berners-Lee successfully established the first-ever communication between a web browser and a server over the Internet. The revolution had begun quietly in a lab in Switzerland. The very first website went live in August 1991. It was a simple page, hosted on his next computer at CERN. What was it about? The World Wide Web project itself. It explained what the web was, how to get a browser, and how to set up your own web server. That first website is still online today, a digital monument to this incredible achievement. Here's where the story takes a truly remarkable turn. Berners-Lee and CERN could have patented their invention. They could have charged licensing fees and made billions of dollars. Imagine having to pay a fee every time you clicked a link or visited a website. The web would be a very different and much smaller place. But Tim Berners-Lee had a different vision. He believed the web should be an open public space for everyone. He lobbied tirelessly to ensure that the underlying technology would remain free and available to all, without patents or royalties. In 1993, CERN made the historic decision to put the World Wide Web software into the public domain. This single act unleashed a tidal wave of creativity and innovation around the globe. Freed from any financial barriers, developers and entrepreneurs jumped in. Companies like Netscape launched user-friendly browsers, making the web accessible to non-technical people. Businesses started creating websites, and soon, the dot-com boom was underway. The web exploded from a handful of academic websites to the vast global network we know today, connecting billions of people and containing an almost unimaginable amount of information. Tim Berners-Lee didn't just invent the web and walk away. He has spent his life working to protect and improve it. In 1994, he founded the World Wide Web Consortium, or W3C, at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. The W3C is the main international standards organization for the web. It brings together companies, developers, and the public to develop open standards that ensure the long-term growth and health of the web. He is still a director of the W3C today. Over the years, he has become a passionate advocate for net neutrality, privacy, and data ownership. He's been critical of how the web has evolved, particularly the dominance of a few large companies, the spread of misinformation, and the use of personal data for commercial and political gain. He has warned that the web he created is at a tipping point. In recent years, he has been working on a new project called Solid. Solid aims to decentralize the web and give users back control of their own data. Instead of storing your personal information on platforms like Facebook or Google, Solid proposes that you store it in your own personal online data store, or pod. You could then grant different apps permission to access your data, and you could revoke that permission at any time. It's an ambitious project to re-architect the web, taking it back to its original decentralized roots. For his incredible contributions, Sir Tim Berners-Lee has received numerous accolades. In 2004, he was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II. In 2016, he won the Turing Award, often called the Nobel Prize of Computing. But despite all the fame and recognition, he remains a humble and thoughtful figure, more concerned with the future of his creation than with personal glory. The story of Tim Berners-Lee is a powerful reminder that a single individual with a brilliant idea and a generous spirit can change the world. He didn't just create a new technology. He created a new public space, a new medium for human connection and knowledge sharing. He gave us the web, and then he gave it to us for free, a gift to humanity. The next time you browse a website, send an email, or watch a video like this one, take a moment to remember the quiet, brilliant computer scientist who made it all possible. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as inspiring as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of the people who shaped our world. Let us know in the comments what you think about the future of the web. See you next time.